right away.
Huh. Oh my God. Wow. You have applied today's rule. So hello everyone. Hi. The topic of debate is Hindi or English. Which should be our national language of India, or which should be the corporative language? So how many guys support English?
So sorry to make you more clear that the topic was should Hindi be national language, not English.
Obviously, so
No, sir. That is another matter.
Yeah, right. He's right. So we are not comparing Hindi to English. We are comparing Hindi with every language.
Yes,
like
that is
in South area, there are debates like their language should be the national language.
Yes.
All right, great. Shall we start?
Sure.
Please download the application Impressive English Language and
Please download.
please download. Come on, start. Come on. Your time starts now. I'm leaving. I will watch. Outside I'll watch in the laptop. Make sure. Debate. Come on.
Move.
Start.
First of all, I would like to say thank you to Zidio on behalf of complete group to give us such a nice topic to discuss upon. As the topic of discussion is Hindi should be a national language or not. So, my dear friends, I beg to differ with. In my point of view, Hindi should not be a national language in India because first of all, we need to understand Hindi is only not a language in our India. There are 22 languages apart from Hindi. So, in India, let me clear. India is divided into two parts in a language barrier. So, first, North India people speak Hindi. Mostly they speak Hindi, and South area people used to speak Tamil, South Indian language like Tamil, Kannada. So, if Hindi language should be a national language, so it is going to divide the Indian. So
Yes, I will. Okay, I will. As my friend said, I will. Yes, I beg to differ. First of all, Hindi is the most spoken language. Yes, in India. The special thing is that on the basis of the 2011, yes, census, there has been an increase in Hindi. Speaking people in 2001, 41.03% of the people Hindi as a mother tongue, while in 2011 its number has increased to 43.63%. Yes, at same time Bangla language remains in second position, followed by Marathi. So I think should Hindi language in India.
Sorry to cut you short, my dear friends. As we heard some points about yourself. Sorry, but I want to make it more clear. What is the national language? We have to understand this thing first, right? So, what is the national language? The national language is it will be called that which every people can speak in a nation, or we can. And another point of the national language of the definition is that the language which is used in a government. In a government policies, weekends, whatever they are doing, they use that language. That is called the national language. Okay. And most important thing is every person have to speak that language. That should be called the national language, right? So in our country, we all aware that there are so many languages we are speaking. We cannot say that every people know the Hindi language or English language or a single language, right? So yeah, and if we are talking, one of our friends said that Hindi language should be our national language, right? But there is a fact. The study says that 45% people can speak Hindi language in our country, and yeah.
So I agree with your point that you told me and sir said that there are 22 languages are spoken in all over the world. But
So in my point of view, nowadays English is become a global language. So that doesn't mean that English is a mode of communication. We have to focus on one mode of communication, that everyone in the country should speak in one language and all the works should be done in Hindi language. So I am only telling you that one language should be our priority. I am not focusing that English should not be spoken or other languages should not be spoken, but we have to focus on only one language that we should represent.
Sorry to cut you short, my dear friend. We cannot say in India that one language can be make a nation. If you are saying that one language will be make nation, then if you are making a policy or you are applying that we should speak only Hindi and this is the national language, then there are so many crimes will increase and we can say there are so many things will happen in our country and country definitely apart. They discriminated actually so many. If you are saying English language should be the national language, then I want to make it more clear that as one of our friends said that 22 languages are in our country, right? It is a constitution. In the constitution, we have mentioned that 22 languages are most spoken language. So there is no English language word, or we can say there is no English language as written in constitution. So we cannot say that English language will be our national language.
Okay.
First of all.
First of all, we know that Prime Minister, yes, CM, many more popular person, he was a speech in Hindi. Why? You know, Prime Minister also give us in Hindi language. Then why? Can you tell me?
Yeah, I can tell you. I can make it more clear. In Constitution in 1963, there is one article has passed. That bill was 163. In that bill, we have written, or we can say, government has a policy that Hindi and English language more priority for government, or we can say politicians for doing these things. They are.
But when it comes to the rural areas, Indian rural areas and villages do not have a knowledge of, they do not become illiterate, they become illiterate, they do not have a much knowledge of speaking English. So I think if English should be our national language, so what should they speak and what should they communicate with other?
I like to differ with my friend. English is a link language. Like if a person don't know English, if a person does not know English or other language like Tamil, so English is a language. The person will use English to make it clear, to make the person understand who don't know his language. So English is only a link language. Like if a not people or a person goes to the south side and he doesn't know the Tamil language or a Kannada language, so how he survived there?
And the study says only 10 to 15% people in India can speak English.
Okay.
So how is it?
Okay. When the Prime Minister, Home Minister, CM gives in Hindi language. Yes.
Yes.
Why? This point is every person can understand in Hindi.
Yes.
Yes, that's point.
I totally agree as my
Okay.
friend said.
Yes.
Okay. So, should Hindi not be national language? So I think should be Hindi language. Yes, that's my point.
From my point of view, Hindi should be national language because our Prime Minister and our CM and all great leaders speak in Hindi because of our uneducated or educated, but they know only Hindi because of that people.
I like to differ with my friend.
And let me complete. And if we talking about rural areas, and they all the people are not well educated, and they are easy to speak Hindi, and English is very typical for that.
Okay.
So my opinion is that Hindi should not be official language of India because India is a deserved country where people follow different cultures. If we notice closely, every region has their one language, and there is a beautiful of India. People from different religions, caste, and creates life together. But if we try to make Hindi or our official language, it show how makes other language out inferior, and as a different deserved country, we should not do it it as every language is important for their native people.
In my opinion, as per as, yes, Ramayana, Krishna Lila, Mahabharata was used in all these. That's why Hindi language should be national language, because he is every popular serial like used for in Hindi language. So,
I cut it short, my friend. I want to cut it short. That not means like language is being imposed to the person. That's not mean. If a person don't know Hindi language, so we don't force to learn Hindi language. And I make it more clear. If a person don't know Kannada, and Kannada will become a national language, so how it is possible for the person to speak or to learn a Kannada language? So we think like that. If we are an Indian, so we need to think about it. And as my friend said, mother tongue. So in my point of view, mother tongue is not a Hindi. Like mother tongue means where you grow up, from where. Like if a person grew up from Bihar, so his mother tongue is Bhojpuri. And he grew up from Gujarat, so his mother tongue is Gujarati. So that is the thing we need to understand.
And I want to add one more point here. As my friend said, it cannot be possible that one language should be in for our Indian country. So we know that language means it connect with our culture, our Asian time. Whatever the language we have heard in our childhood, or we can say our mother tongue, that language connect with our Asian time, our cultures. And if you allow one language to be a national language in our India, what about their culture? The people are hurted by that decision, that their culture will destroy because of this reason. That is why government is not allowing to make one national language in our country.
It is not
as my
important.
friend said, like Tamil Nadu, like South, yes. How can I speak in Hindi? Government also provide in Hindi books, yes, and also teacher provided in Hindi.
But we don't force anyone to learn English. At least Indian people know and understand the Hindi language. But it not means we force them to speak Hindi language. Because for speaking any language, first we have to learn about the particular language. If I want to give you one example, we are here for speaking or learning English language. That's why we are joining and invest our time in this class. So if a person wants to learn a language, so it depends on him. We do not force them.
But sir, our Union Home Minister Amit Shah is also telling that India should be at one nation and one language.
That was
So,
one slang.
so that is a big deal that we should have promote Hindi language. I am not telling you that you should not learn other English or other language and other things. I would only focus on one should language which we communicate and which we can represent our country in the whole world. So that is the.
I agree.
So yeah, I want to add one more point here, that you said Amit Shah told that one nation, one language. Slogan. So he told in 2019,
Yeah.
and he is, as you said, union minister.
Yeah.
And we can say is the beside the prime minister, right?
Yeah.
So they have the policies, they have the power, so they can make it. But why it not happen?
And the biggest question is why they do not give a speech in a Tamil or Kannada or a Bhojpuri when they when they go in that area
Yeah.
for the promotion of their politician
Elections.
parties elections. This is the biggest question. Why they just read from the paper and convince the people? Why they
And sometimes they use English language. They
Yeah.
change their mode.
But our central government also announced that in passports in 2019 they should allow two languages, Hindi or English.
Yes.
So our government should also promote that Hindi should be our national language, and because of Hindi we can, and when it comes to our population and when it comes to our rural areas, many people have only understood only Hindi language. They do not have a knowledge of English language. So how should they?
No, sorry to cut you short here because you are saying that so many rural areas in our country they understand only Hindi language, but it is not true. The truth is they understand their mother tongue. We can say actually every state have their own languages. Like I want to give one example. Like UP has four languages like Awadhi, Braji, and Bhojpuri, and one more is Bundelkhandi, right? So you cannot say that, and the study says that Hindi language only understandable in India, in the northern part and eastern part, only that areas. But if you are talking about the southern part, then it is not understandable for that area's people. So we cannot say
we
this.
don't have any problem if Hindi language will be our should be our national language. But what about the people? You know, when let me complete. When Hindi language will be a national language, so government after that government will be implemented Hindi language in the books of the children and everywhere.
Yeah.
Like they will replace the English as well and their own language as well. Because we come from a different culture, different tradition, different diverse. So that is the reason people do not support the Hindi language should be our national language. It is the barrier. Hindi language is a barrier for people who don't know.
And if
How
it
to
can
speak
be
and how to
possible,
understand.
then government just launch the new education policies. We know about that. And government has said that every state have their own languages for teach children. Teaches children. They have their own language. Not government has not announced that Hindi language should be teach or taught in a whole country. What about that?
Okay, as my friend said, in India, 22 or 24 languages.
22.
As my friend said, in India, 22 languages. Yes, we know that every country have a many more types of language, but every country have a own national language. Like for example, Nepal. Nepal have also many more types of language, but there only for Nepali language in Nepal. Why? Because national language is part of country. Yes, national language is also identity
Yes.
in all over the world. That's my point.
From my point of view, if we're talking about mother tongue is different for other states and other culture. If we're talking about Sindhi, they're talking in Sindhi, and they know Sindhi, but they also know Hindi language. And if we're talking about Bihari, and if we're talking about UP and other CG, other state Nepali also, they also knows Hindi language. But everyone knows English language. If we're talking about Hindi, everyone knows Hindi language. So Hindi, our mother tongue should be national language.
Okay, I totally agree with as my friend said. First of all, most people use in Hindi language in India. Yes, many more percent in India use Hindi language. And I told now, just now I have told just now. First of all, Prime Minister is a part of country. Yes, in every world, every country. Prime Minister give a speech in Hindi, then why should not national language? I have this question. Can you say any?
Yes, because of our population.
Yes.
Everyone knows Hindi easily.
Yes.
That's why
No,
they
no,
use-
sorry to cut you short. That is not the reason. The reason is behind that it is a commercial language, official language we can say. Two language has constitution adopted as a official language, that is English and Hindi. So the person who work in a government, they always try to use that language. That is the reason behind it.
As my friend said, two language is official language. Yes.
Yes.
But this is official language, and why should not in national language? Hindi is also official language, na? As my friend said, 22 languages in India. Yes, I think I have two languages in official language. Yes, that's my point. National language is I have told now. National language is part of country. Okay. Let for example, China have also national language Chinese. Japan have also national language Japanese. Like for Nepal has also national language Nepalese. First of all, let me tell you one point. National animal in India, yes. National animal in India, national roles in national animal in India.
National flowers also there.
Also national flowers also in India. Then why national language is not in India? That's my point.
The reason behind it, in our country there are so many different areas, as you just compared Nepal with India. But I want to tell you that Nepal is a very small country, we can say, and India has every different areas, different languages, different cultures. So we cannot compare Nepal with India, or we can say another state with India.
Okay, as my friend said, Nepal is a small country. Yes. China also is big country. Yes. Then why in their
But
national language?
be aware about the China's policies. The government of China, they just do work for their we can say their profit.
They have only one culture, Chinese culture, but we have a different culture.
In China, government force the people
But
to
in
do the
Nepal
things,
also,
right?
but in Nepal also different culture, na? Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Jain, many more culture.
How many cultures can you make it clear?
I have told,
How many cultures are there? Can you make it more clear?
yes, Hindu,
Okay.
Christian,
Right.
Buddha,
Okay.
many more types of Indian.
Maybe not more than 10, right?
It is also present in India.
No. It is more than in in India. I think there is more than 50 cultures in our India. We are talking only 22 languages that are the official language written in constitution. But there are so many languages. We have mother tongues language. I'm sorry. I say sorry because I'm not ready to recall it. There is a word for use for their mother tongue language. There are so many many more languages rather than 22 languages.
And if our Hindi language is our national language, so it is only convenient for North people,
Yeah.
not for all of the people of country.
Right.
Because last month a politician from north side, he said English should be banned in India because they are not able to speak English in a parliament
Yes.
because of their personal issue. But they raised this issue in a parliament, and it affects. And the politician said it affects our Hindi culture. But we need to understand English is the language because of it we can easily connect people of all over the world as well as in the north side, south side, no matter where. We easily connect people with English. That's why English is a necessary language in India. It doesn't mean we have to
Make it a national language or
Yeah.
language.
I beg to differ with you because I think you should know and everyone should know that our government focus that in CBSE schools, Hindi language should be taught in CBSE schools. And when it comes to our politicians, and our government also focus that many parliamentary, many MPs and MLAs also teaches his student in Hindi medium school. So our government is focused that they should study in Hindi medium school.
I beg to differ with my friend. If they want the children to study in the Hindi language in the school, so why they do not provide a job Why they do not provide a job for a Hindi language people?
Yeah,
Why they always
why
hire
we are learning English
why they always
language?
hire the
Hindi
people
language
who
is
know
very
Hindi, who
important.
speak English?
What is the reason behind
What
it?
is the
From my
reason
point of
behind
view,
it?
one of my friends said that why they don't provide job in Hindi. If we're talking about UPSC and other exams,
Yes.
civil services,
Yes.
there is no need in English.
There is a need of
Need
English.
of English,
Yes.
Much not.
but not much. If we're
But-
talking about cooperative sector like placements, then
No,
and
no, you cannot say. You have to clear one English paper exam also in UPSC exam. You have to clear that
yes,
exam paper.
but other if we're talking about other subjects,
Yeah.
so
But
if a person-
as you take the example of UPSC, so you have to say that there is no need of English language. You cannot say that English language also you have to give the exam. Why we are giving in English exam also there, or if it is not necessary?
it is a subject, only subject. It is not a medium to give exam. If a person know Hindi, he can easily give exam, and for preparation, he can prepare English.
But why interviews are held in English? Why they cannot give like they cannot take an interview, or interviewer why does not take an interview in Hindi language? Why they always prefer English language?
No, if you have a proper knowledge in this subject, you can easily give your interview in Hindi. I watched many videos in
Yes,
Hindi.
yes, you
Okay,
can.
I have one question.
So language is not barrier.
No. So you are saying that UPSC has conducted exam in there is an exam in English language, and we are talking about Hindi should be the national language, right?
Yes.
So if Hindi should be the national language, and the UPSC make the people, union people, we can say who people govern the government in our whole country. So why they need English language then?
Because
Because
Because it's
this
subject
reason
is a
is
language, then they learn and give exam for exam.
And
they
after
prepare
that-
for only exam.
And after that,
because
They
this
deal with Hindi.
okay because this answer
if a
is-
person passed the UPSC exam and he placed in a Tamil side, what
How
he
he
can
will manage
how
the things?
how he can
How he will manage the, if he cannot speak the
If a
English language?
person educated, he can learn easily English.
That is not the point. The point is why.
If he,
Why we survive?
if he have the ability to crack UPSC, then he has already ability to learn English
But
in 3 months.
we are not talking about some people. We are talking about whole countries, whole people
Yes,
of
we
our
are talking
country.
about whole country. That's why Hindi is very necessary for us. If we're talking about
For
whole
what?
country,
Like if a person does not know the Hindi language, so is he eligible to give the UPSC exam?
can you please?
If a person does not know the Hindi language, okay, so is he eligible to clear the UPSC exam as my friend said, UPSC
Okay.
exam conducted in Hindi language or English language?
I
So
will-
So
what about it?
if we don't know Hindi, so he can.
He can
Maybe he learn.
Agar sir, he can clear the exam na if he don't know the Hindi language of UPSC. He can.
Make it clear.
Yeah, please make it more clear.
if our government allow, if our government focus on, if our also provide Hindi, if our government allow to every state use in Hindi, then we can easily learn like English are no our language, yes. But why we are learning? Because this is most important. Then if our government allow only use for Hindi because Hindi is national language, then we are learn easily.
that's why in India there should not be a national language, and we have to communicate in Hindi or English, both the language. So our government also focus that we should not focus only one language. We should also learn other languages, like in terms of Hindi or English, we should also learn world's language or other countries' language. So it is our own development. We should not focus that everyone should learn Hindi or everyone should learn English. We should learn Hindi, we should learn English because we want to improve. That's why.
And it depends on the people.
Yeah, it depends.
And
If a person job punishment in our state,
Yes.
you can, because government also provide na, you use Hindi language all state.
It depends on convenience of people. If we go to cooperative sector, then we learn English, and it is necessary to learn English.
I think English is a mode of communication, and we should also focus on mode of communication. We should not focus on language. I think if a person have a good knowledge of many languages, and if a person have a good communication skill, so I think if a person, those who have a good communication skill, who should have more prefer as compared to they have a person who have a good knowledge of other language. So I think communication skills is a important factor.
Okay.
But
Do you know one news? Tamil Nadu people are fighting in Hindi people. Do you know?
make it more clear.
Tamil Nadu people had sent the Biharis or UP people to their state and forced them to go back to your state
To the state.
because they don't know Hindi. So,
Hindi or English?
Hindi or Tamil Nadu?
because
No English.
Tamil people don't know Hindi and don't like Hindi language, and they are not able to. Sorry, Bihari people or UP people. I am also from UP, so they do not speak Tamil language. Doesn't matter. They live. They are living they have been living for 10 years or 15 years. They are not interested to learn the Tamil language. So the Tamil peoples or Kannada peoples are forcing to send them back to their state. So,
If you use Hindi language, then Tamil Nadu is beating you.
But if you
Yes,
are comparing Tamil people or Tamil language with Hindi language, then I want to make it more clear that Tamil language is more ancient than other languages of our country, like Sanskrit and Hindi. Tamil language is more ancient than other languages. Then Tamil language should be the national language.
Okay, I have one question. If I ask for me, what is your national language and what is you speak and a good answer from up to you?
Yes, two of the third, please. Both of you are
Yes,
speaking.
you are just then come from some.
Yes,
Your time.
madam, both of you, speak.
In my point of view, Hindi speak by more than half of countries India as no single language is spoken by entire India. It is much better to take the majority language the national.
It is completed.
Okay.
Sorry, I want to make it more clear that you said that more than half of our population speak Hindi language. It is not right. Right, we can say study. The right study said less than 50%. 40. At this time I don't know, but in 2011, 45% can speak Hindi language only. That is the ratio.
As my friend said that if we want to represent our country, we should have official language. So if let's say you told that if we want to talk to any foreigners and they ask that what should be your national language, what should I answer the question?
Yes.
So that is also I think government should also concern that we should allow only one primary language. I am not telling that English is not being
Tamil language is also not good. Every language is good.
Yeah.
But
We have
I
to-
have told just now, if a country have a national language, he can improve. Yes. Yes.
We can represent.
No, you cannot say that. You cannot feel same on that thing that we don't have a national language. You can say our country is very big and there are so many cultures and so
Okay,
many languages. Let me complete myself. Okay. So there are so many cultures, there are so many languages. That is why government haven't declared one national language. There are two commercial languages like Hindi and English, and I have on my mother tongue language. You can say it freely. There is no issue.
I ask you one question. what is your national flower? What is your national animal?
There is a
These
national.
are different things.
No,
Yeah.
no different things. What is your
This is
national
not common
flower
knowledge.
or what is your national
Flower is not connected with culture. We cannot say that it connect with people, but language is connected with people and their culture and their ancient times. That is the thing.
From my point of view, if we're talking about national, if we talk about national anthem, this is also brought
in Hindi, not a Tamil Nadu, not
everyone
a
knows. And if we're talking about ancient time, our Sanatan Dharma, they are also used Hindi
Hindi
language.
language. Maybe
Not a
the
Hindi
popular
language.
restaurant is
Not a Hindi language.
Not a single
They were
language.
using a
And
Sanskrit
Sanskrit
language.
also, and Sanskrit is also related Hindi.
Now,
Hindi.
So Sanskrit will be the national
yeah,
language. Means
it will be.
yeah, if there is a mother of a
Because we
language.
don't know, actually, we
What is
are
your
here.
national,
The people don't know. Let me complete.
We are going to listen everyone. We are going to listen everyone.
We don't know, at least I think in my point of view, more like a few people know how to speak and how to understand the Sanskrit. So if it will be our national language, so it encourages all the people to learn. So it is not for any community or any. It is not for target any particular state. It is for all over the all. It is for all over the people of India. So that is good, and that will be good for us.
I want to ask one more question. What should be the criteria for allowing a national language? What should be the criteria?
Criteria is
If someone wants to say that Hindi should be national language or English should be
at
national
the
language.
starting time I already told you that the language, national language is the definition is every single person how to speak and know about that language. That language can call a national language.
That is, I am telling you that Hindi is
okay.
spoken more widely.
Okay, I ask you a question. What is your name? Mukund. Why is your name Mukund?
Because my father
Because-
was a thief.
And do you know your friends speak you others name and your father speak others name. You know, yes. Sometimes many more people
Yes, nickname.
speak other name. Yes. But why you are use nickname? Because this is a student Unicode, this is people Unicode. That's
Yeah, that is the point. You said it very well. So let me make it more clear. As you give the example, why my name is Mukund and why parents give the name, right? That is the thing we are discussing. Why we cannot describe a Hindi language to all the people should be speak Hindi. Because if we are talking Tamil, Kannada and many more languages, their parent told, or we can say they said that their language is Tamil. That is the mother language, and you are throwing the language Hindi on that person. So that is the reason we cannot make Hindi language in a single way. We can say national. That is the example you said.
for my example. No, as my friend said, in India, many more types of language, like a 22 language.
More than 20.
Okay, more than 22. That's not. I am like what can I say? First of all, what is your name? But you have a one name, not a many types of name. You have a unique name, not a many types of name.
That is the thing. Now I am saying that if my friends is saying me another name
So
with
that-
another name,
so that-
I do not want to accept it.
You want to say your name is your identity.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
identity.
Why it is not
Your identity of our action.
Yes, that is the thing I am saying. Now, if you are comparing parents with our government, should then the government will be parent, right, of Hindi language, or we can say our government. So culture is the parents. I want to say that culture is the parents of our language. So if our culture give us some language, so we have to follow that language. We cannot escape it with someone else.
My points of view, I think Hindi should be national language. Why? Because national language part of it, every country. Yes. Also national language identity in the country. So that I think in Hindi national language should be national language. Because first of all, Prime Minister are part of country. Prime Minister speaks in Hindi. Then why we should not? Then why we should not?
Sometimes he is
But why he does not
No, sometimes no, every time.
Yes,
Sometime.
he will speak. Only boys are speaking, girls will speak.
But why he does not speak or give a lecture or a speech in another language? He is a prime minister, no? He
is the father of our country, we can say.
Yes, and
So he have to,
he is
he has to speak
Yes,
all the language.
he has a duty to speak all
Why he is
languages.
making discrimination in our country? Why is this discrimination?
as my friend said, Prime Minister, father of country. Yes. He is speaking in Hindi. Then why should not national
Because he
language
came just now. Before that, someone was the father, and someone was speaking another language.
Okay,
That is the reason.
that's it. Okay. Your father speak Hindi or
You cannot point of me. This is the not rule of city. You have to remember this thing.
Okay.
Yes.
So
And bring the
It's
mobile
okay.
phone.
It's okay.
Bring it here.
Tell us what to do.
Okay, conclusion.
Yeah, ready,
Sir,
speak, speak,
can
yeah.
I stop